Hello, I didn't see you there. This book sucks. Everything about it sucks. The writing sucks, the characters suck. The sex scenes, which are now so plentiful they've lost their meaning and import, suck. The best way I could describe it is barbed wire enema, but also nightmare pudding. And I've given a lot of thought as to what nightmare pudding means, and it means like you're eating a good pudding, like a butterscotch pudding that is light, rests on the tongue well, is delicious, but after the third bite of it, there's a toenail, and it's black, and it's got maybe a hair on it, but a red hair, so you know a ginger was up to no good. And then you're like, okay, it was just a toenail. This pudding is really good, and you keep eating it because you're sad and alone. And then by bite 7, maybe 8, you discover there is maybe 30 to 40 pubic hairs in it. And you know they're pubic and not beard because they're shorter, less curly, like someone has scaped, manscaped or ladyscaped, and so this is like from the scaping. But then you scoop out all of that. I mean, you're dealing with a very, very, very big bowl of pudding, 385 pages worth of pudding, and then you finally get to the bottom. You're just pounding it away. It gets better. Then you get to the bottom, and there's like a severed, wart-covered cock just sitting there, and it's leaking pus, and you find out the pudding was pus all along. I apologize for that, but that's how I feel. Chapter 22 begins with Anastasia on the plane on the way to her mother and stepfather in Georgia. A good chunk of this chapter is her and Christian emailing back and forth with each other. That's pretty much it. Whereas at the end of the last chapter, she was super angry at Christian for putting her on the first class. Now she's 2 glasses of champagne deep in loving it. Of course, because she reacts before she thinks constantly, which is hilarious because she's an overthinker, but only when she shouldn't be. She reacts at the dumb shit and overthinks at the really easy stuff, like when somebody tells you 50 times, I really care about you, and then they prove it over and over again, and then to always be like, I wonder if he likes me. That's stupid. Yes, if they say things and they don't prove it, it doesn't mean anything. If you say I love you, but you don't really show it, it doesn't mean anything. He shows it all the time. Every fucking page in this book, he shows it. Every single one. Yes, he's weird. He's creepy. He wanted to watch her, appointment with the OBGYN, that's a little much. He bought her a car. That is a little much. But again, we're not dealing with regular people. We're dealing with Christian Grey, who is a late 20s billionaire philanthropist. The rules aren't the same with billionaires. They can buy you a car, and that means nothing, But it doesn't. It means that he loves her, because he's said it, and then given her things, and then said it, and opened himself up in ways. See, it's not even that he's saying that he loves her, and then gives her stuff. He's saying he loves her, and then opening himself up more, which is something he said he would never do. And every time he does it, every time he goes further than he's ever gone with any other woman before, like sleeping in the same bed with her, like allowing her some power in the relationship, every single time he does that, the next page she's like, I just don't understand him. Am I just like some business transaction to him? And it's like, Christian, you need to move on, buddy. She's not going to get what you're doing because she gets to Savannah, Georgia, talks to her folks about Christian, continues emailing Christian back and forth. Here, let me read you Christian's email. Let me read you hers first. You know how much I dislike you spending money on me. Yes, you're very rich, but it still makes me uncomfortable, like you're paying me for sex. Which, I mean, that's no one's fault but her own that she feels that way, because he's done nothing to make her feel that way. However, I like traveling first class. It's so much more civilized than coach, so thank you. I mean it. And I did enjoy the massage from Jean Paul. He was very gay. I admitted that bit in my email to you to wind you up because I was annoyed with you. I'm sorry about that. Talks about, who cares? She just gets a little playful with him. I'm so happy that you said that you will try more. I just need to think about what more means to me, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted some distance. You dazzle me so much, and I find it very difficult to think clearly when we're together. And then he writes back, Anastasia, I'm annoyed that as soon as you put some distance between us, you communicate openly and honest with me. Why can't you do that when we're together? Yes, I'm rich. Get used to it. Why shouldn't I spend money on you? We've told your father I'm your boyfriend, for heaven's sake. Isn't that what boyfriends do? As your dom, I would expect you to accept whatever I spend on you with no argument. Incidentally, tell your mother, too. I don't know how to answer your comment about feeling like a whore. I know that's not what you've written, but it's what you imply. I don't know what I can say or do to eradicate these feelings. I'm going to sneeze, and it's gone. Sorry. I'd like you to have the best of everything. I work exceptionally hard so I can spend my money as I see fit. I could buy you your heart's desire, Anastasia, and I want to. Call it redistribution of wealth, if you will, or simply know that I could not ever think of you in the way you described, and I'm angry that's how you perceive yourself. For such a bright, witty, beautiful young woman, you have some real self-esteem issues. But it's not self-esteem issues. She has, her self-esteem is fine. What her issues are is that she doesn't trust anybody. She doesn't believe anybody. She only believes herself, and at some points her inner goddess, and she doesn't ever let them meet. I apologize for frightening you. I find the thought of instilling fear in you abhorrent. I want to share my lifestyle with you. I have never wanted anything so much. Frankly, I'm in awe of you. That says more to me than you could ever know. You fail to see I am caught in your spell too, even though I've told you this countless times. I don't want to lose you. I'm nervous that you've flown 3,000 miles to get away from me for a few days because you can't think clearly around me. It's the same for me, Anastasia. My reason vanishes when we're together. That's the depth of my feeling for you. I understand your trepidation. I did try to stay away from you. I knew you were inexperienced, though I would never have pursued you if I had known how innocent you were, i.e. virgin. And yet you still managed to disarm me completely in a way that nobody has before. Your email, for example, I've read and reread it countless times trying to understand your point of view. Okay, so she complains about how their contract is only for 3 months. It was for 6 months, and then she asked for 3 months. I mean, yes, it's weird that she has to sign a contract to date this guy. Got it. Point of the book. The point of the book is that he is very different in the ways of connecting. He is broken from something that happened to him when he was a baby. Between birth and, I think, 3 is what they're saying. And she's always using that stuff against him. And if she really loves him, then she's going to want to try and work through that with him. But all she does, it seems like, is judge. And it's frustrating to read. You worry about not being submissive. Well, maybe that's true. Having said that, the only time you do assume the correct demeanor for a sub is in the playroom. I assume that's the one place where you let me exercise proper control over you, and the only place you do as you're told. Exemplary is the term that comes to mind. I would never beat you black and blue. I aim for pink. Outside the playroom, I like that you challenge me. It's a very novel and refreshing experience, and I wouldn't want to change that. So yes, tell me what you want in terms of more, and I will endeavor to keep an open mind. And I shall try to give you the space that you need and stay away from you while you are in Georgia. Blah, blah, blah. She finds that she can't really tell her mom anything about him because of the NDA that she signed, and she's actually, attempting to respect that, honor that. I don't know. So, anyway, the chapter ends with her finding out that Christian, which he tells her completely openly, is having dinner with Mrs. Robinson. Mrs. Robinson is her name for the woman who was Christian's first dom. Christian was her sub, and it was when he was like 16 or 17, I believe. And Anna hates her, just absolutely thinks she's a nightmare monster for sleeping with him when he was 16. And so she gets really upset, that he was with her. Just very upset. He was having dinner with her. My scalp prickles as adrenaline and fury lands through my body. All my worst fears realized. How could he? I'm away for 2 days, and he runs off to that evil bitch. And then literally the next paragraph is her realizing that Christian is in town and looking at her at that moment from somewhere in this bar that she's at with her mother. And that's the end of the chapter. So, chapter 23 is going to be the mother meeting Christian, some more Savannah, Georgia hijinks, some more boring-ass bullshit crap. I've decided that I am going to do the next 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know if that's 50 Shades Lighter, 50 Shades Free, 50 Shades Darker. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but whatever the second one is, I'm going to do that one too, because I apparently am like Christian. No, not like Christian. Like myself, a masochist. Goodbye. I hope you're all having lovely days. Sorry about the delay on that. Things have been a little busy, a little crazy. But we're going to get through these, and we're going to get through them hard. Alright, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.